All right, this is the Exterminator.
Yeah.
And this is test number 2, which
So
we just seen here. All right, hang on. Does this start right over here? We're picking up colors here, actually. This is pretty neat. This is 1/30th of a second.
what? What? What do we need to pick up? Sierra. What you trying to land on the top of the cane.
Okay.
She's trying to land on the top
I
of the
just want to get that focus happening here. And there you go. Let's recenter this, and we're going to go back to M42 the way we saw it earlier with MFR5. So let's re-engage our long exposure of a very, very long 2 seconds. It will slowly build up, and I'll be able to compare the image here. I think we'll have a little bit less reduction, but mind you, this FR2 is made for large sensor, not for little guys. I still say the MFR5 is the winner for smaller sensors. There's no question about it. Yeah, we definitely got more magnification. So that means we could use a spacer. I'm trying to think here if I should put a spacer here. Yeah, definitely we got less reduction. Okay. Because I'm using an adapter, I don't know if I'll be able to put the spacer. The spacer is made to go on the T-mount. Okay, let me figure out a way. I'm going to go back to the MFR5 for a minute. Yeah, I'll be right back, folks. Let me go back to what I had it earlier. Hang on.
So I did send this guy. Oh, I got him an invoice now. I sent that to, okay, Rob. Delete. Where's Rob? Rob Rickles. Yeah, Michael Carnes just bought a new camera from me. I told him we weren't going to be able to make. It sounds inviting, but yeah. Well, he had mentioned that they were going to that Road Trex rally last year. Yeah. When we were at the Eclipse, that they were going out there. That they weren't going to go to the Grand Canyon again. They're going to go further in, and they were going to go up to the Grand Tetons and all that stuff.
Okay, let me okay, we definitely do have a lot wider field of view. Here's one little mistake that I made. It's a major one, actually. I forgot to take the zoom out. Yeah, this is wider field of view no matter what. So let's take the zoom out. Ah, there we go. All right, this is M42 the way I'm used to see it. And it's got very, very large pixels. So the larger the pixels, the less megapixel you're going to get. In fact, you got a lot less than, you got about half for 0.44 megapixel. But the pixels are huge. They're 8.4 by 9.6. And look at the sensitivity of that and the crispiness of that image. It's just incredible. This is 2-second exposure. It's pointless to go any higher than that. Yes, it is, Jack, and there were good reasons. The lenses are smaller on the MFR5, therefore they're made to go for, let's say, sensors from 11 millimeter, 8 millimeter, and even 6 millimeter diagonal. And that's what it was designed for, to give the lowest F ratio possible. I do have a 5 millimeter spacer in there, which is not too bad. I'm not getting to too much vignetting compared to the other years because I've removed my field rotator. So that was a factor back then. The larger the lens, the further away you're going to have it from the sensor. And I don't have the spacer for that. That'll adapt to the C-mount. The new focal reducer uses T-mount. So we've got spacers for T-mount, but not for the other ones, not for the other one around. I'm going to have to rig up some spacers for that. If we can get the proper spacers, we'll be able to get the same thing as the MFR5. I'm confident of it easily. Now this is only 2 seconds and the gain is turned off. I don't have the gain turned on. It's completely turned off. And how crisp the image is just incredible. Okay, I didn't focus this properly. Hang on a second. Let me turn off the exposure thing here, and we are going to redo the focus properly. Hey, Jack, do you know if the Eskimo is up? The Eskimo Nebula? I don't know if it's up or not, and also I can't remember off the top of my head what the NGC number is. Okay, would you happen to have the NGC number of that particular object? Okay, if it's near the zenith, that's not going to be good. The moon is near there, and I'm not too concerned about the moon. What I'm concerned about is camera hitting the mount. Wow, we actually see 3 different colors here of the Cartesian. Left star is kind of a greenish, the other one's bluish. This is pretty cool. Okay, let's go back to our 2-second exposure. And I don't know. Let me go to M82 first, okay? And then we're going to go to in Gemini to I'm just looking for my star map, and I forgot to install it on this computer. Earlier on, I installed Photoshop on this thing, and now I need to have a star map. Darn. Okay. If somehow 2392, okay. I'm going to punch that in and see if we could actually go there. Let's wait for the camera to build up our 2 minutes, 3 minutes. We need to get that going. You see some diagonal noise in there. That's my cable soaked in water, and it's all rusted up. I did not know. So we are going to have to fix that in the upcoming days to get rid of that noise that we've got in there. Hey, good evening there, David. Nice to see you. Oh, Connie's in there. Okay, I didn't know. Where are you, Connie? There. Yes, she is. Right on. Nice to see you, Connie. It's been a long time. I know you said hi, but I was in the dome. I didn't know you were on, so sorry about that. Glad that you're on, and glad that you're back in astronomy, I guess. I hate that when I don't have enough bandwidth. I'm still stuck on DSL here, folks. It's unbelievable that Bell Canada can't provide any any bandwidth for us. Okay, we're back. This is 2 seconds. So let me fill that in there. Okay, here we go. This is 2 seconds. David, there is no way, there's no camera on the market. Now, mark my word here. There's not one camera in the world that equals the power of the Mallin Exterminator II. The electronics in there are completely different. This is a real video camera, not an imager. And this is 2 second exposure. And to make things worse, the gain is turned off completely. Yes, you can. You certainly can, Connie. You should have seen the moon earlier. The sun was up, we had blue skies, and I had the moon in there. You should have seen the craters in there. It was unbelievable. David, I want to compare my cameras as much as I can to make them similar to the Exterminator or even the Extreme. Okay, Connie, send it out. We'll take care of it. You know the address, you know the routine, ship it out. I know what we're going to do. Now, this camera has also the argon gas filled chamber, but we've done a lot of changes to it lately, and Woody has one of that version. And of course, we use aerogel insulation. This is the stuff that NASA use on their own electronics when they send stuff to space. And they also use aerogel to capture some of the comet debris that got returned to Earth. So we use the exact same stuff that they're using in there. I've contacted them about it, and they gave me the name of the company that makes it for them. And this is what we got in this camera for insulation. So electronics don't heat up the chamber, they don't heat up where the cooler is. And this is a ceramic research grade sensor. That's what you're going to get with the Exterminator. 2 years ago at the star party we had in my yard here, I remember this young gentleman wanted to see the comparison between the Star Vision and also the DS series, the Sky Raider cameras. And I said, well, before we do that, we are going to plug in the Exterminator. And once I did, and he could not believe that we were using anywhere from 2 to 8 second exposure. He couldn't believe it. And when we switched camera, he begged me to switch camera. And the next day, the last day of the star party, he was at the shop buying it, getting his Exterminator custom made. These are handcrafted cameras that we make in Canada. We make them in Ottawa, one of them at a time. And lately, the resurgence of the popularity of 2 cameras coming on top. The Mallin Exterminator, and especially also the Universe. I don't know what's going on, but the demand for those 2 cameras are gone right through the roof, and I don't know why. Anyways, it is what it is. What can I say? This is real video camera, so we need a frame grabber. The output of this camera goes directly to a TV, a monitor. And there's 2 outputs on it. One of them is a 75 ohm video output. The other one is S-Video, which I'm using tonight to feed the frame grabber. And then the frame grabber is going through a KVY, actually. Tonight, I'm trying that out. The amount of adjustments you've got on the camera far exceed any of the cameras you'll ever see. If you grab the Milo Slick software for it, you're going to be in for a treat, because that's even better. Let me see now. We're going to swing that on M82. This is the fun part for me. I just love going to M82 and M57 with this thing. David, get some rubber band wrap around your head and your chin because you don't want to have your jaw open up and hit the floor. So I'll be right back. We're going to swing the telescope on M82. I just wish M57 was out right now. You wouldn't believe you wouldn't believe what you would see. But this is only 2 seconds and the gain is off. Okay, let me go on the other side, folks. I'm going to swing the scope around. I'm going to swing the dome around, and we're going to try to locate M82. It's a little bit harder to locate with this chip because it's a smaller sensor, but it's a scientific grade sensor. This one is a class 1 sensor, not a class 0. Hey, sounds good, Steve. Have fun. I really hope that you're going to enjoy your evening with the universe tonight. So finally, the respectable weather is upon us. It's cold. It's not the best, but at least we get to use our telescope for the season. And I hope that you're going to have a good evening, Steve. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, I'm going to get up and go on the other side, as I said, swing the scope and swing the dome, and I'll be right back, folks.
I gotta get up early in the morning for the doctor. Hello. Yeah? Yeah, I gotta be at Schlegel for 8. Yeah. Early. I know that feeling. Well, you normally sit. You don't normally get there early. Well, him and Germer. Well, I usually see Germer at 7:30. Yeah.
Okay, we're back. And we are going to go to 7-second exposure here. Wow. Absolutely stunning. 7 seconds. Let me see if I can make this darker a little bit. Oh, I could. Oh, a bit of vignetting here. Okay, oh, it doesn't matter. We've got haze. I cannot see stars with the naked eye down that area. But this is 7 seconds. You want to know why we've got this? David, just pay attention here. Get those rubber band backs under your chin and your head. There's a feature called APC. I kept telling everybody, don't use APC. And here's why. APC is for certain, how can I say it? Certain object. I want to pull detail out of M82. I didn't bother refocusing right away. Now we've got a white balance called ATW, AWC, and manual. This is manual and infrared. 56K, and this is manual. So we could adjust our reds and blues and whatever else that we want. Degrees fixed all the time. Okay, so here we go. ATW is back again. I like the infrared because we were observing years ago when Jim Turner was on at the time, when he owned an Ascend at the time. I remember I was clouded over in Ottawa. We went into infrared mode and we're able to see through the clouds. And this is infrared right now. So this camera has features like you wouldn't believe. And that's the same as Exterminator as far as the menu is concerned. Advanced pixel control is available on the third menu. Now watch this. We're going to increase it because right now the APC is turned off to 0. So watch this, folks. All right. Wow, did you see that? What happened? Look at the amount of detail. This is 7 seconds only. Maybe we should go to 10 seconds exposure. This is not guided. It's in Altab, by the way. So the APC really, oh yeah, look at the detail inside of the galaxy now. Now we get to view stuff that we never see in photos. Because photos, astrophotography is very, how can I say it? They give you smoother images. Now, as far as detail is concerned, that's another story. Now, we get to adjust the saturation on the frame grabber. We can bring it down, bring it up, and do whatever that we want pretty well. I certainly can zoom in, and this is what we're going to do. For that, I'll just stop the exposure. I'm going to recenter the, actually, hang on a minute. Just hold on. Here. This is 2-second exposure. We should be able to see that better than that. 2-second exposure. Oh, that's right. I've got the AGC turned off. So the gain is off, and the gamma is at 0.45. If I bring the gamma up here, we're going to get a little bit better response here. Hang on a second. Let me center M82 a little bit better. There you go. Okay, it's good enough. And we're going to put some zoom. Not all of it. About half, oh, maybe half of it. Now that's electronic zoom in the camera. This is not software zoom. This is camera zoom. Not the same. You don't lose, unless if you got atmospheric disturbance, well, you are going to magnify the disturbance. Okay, hang on a second. Now what we're going to do is go to 12-second exposure. This is what video is about. Live video. Sure, you can take pictures. You'll be able to process it differently. It can be done, but it's not designed for that. Okay, 12 seconds too much. All right, hang on. Way too much. Let's go back down to 7 or 8. I'm having really bad conditions right now. As I said, I can't see stars with the naked eye. But there you go. Let's go back to gamma 1. There you go. We should be okay that way. We could make it smoother, like an image, like, you know, if you want. I don't necessarily like it. What I like to see is the amount of detail that we can get in there. Just wish M57 was out, because that's the one. Now, if you see that star to the right, oh, gee whiz, how come it's odd shaped like that? Well, it's very easy. If you look at it at every 8 seconds, it's going to change shape. And why is it changing shape? Because this is an interlaced sensor. It's taking odd and even frame. If the scope moves slightly, the star will no longer retain its shape. Only on the bright ones. The dimmer ones, it's not going to affect them as much. Now, the halo that you've got around it, it's anti-blooming. And that's going to happen only when you use too much of the APC. Now watch this. If I remove the APC, adjustment of the APC goes from 0 to 16. And what I'm going to do is go to, there you go. Your stars are going to become a little rounder. And of course, if you take the zoom out, you're going to get, you can actually change the shape of the stars with the APC. Pay attention to the stars at the bottom and the bright one. I could make them go horizontal. Watch this. Here, they're going to be flat. We're going towards the same orientation as the interlace. So the stars are flat now. Look how ugly they look like. That's fine. You can fix that. Go to the vertical gain of the APC, because you've got horizontal gain and vertical gain. Horizontal gain of the pixel and vertical gain of the pixel is what it's all about. And we could go to the horizontal here. We're going to increase that. Look at the stars going upwards instead of the vertical standing up. So you can adjust that. So if you bring the APC down to off completely to 0, you're going to get overall better quality stars. Yeah, they're rockets. Okay, we've got clouds going by. I just noticed here. We could make the background much darker. But if we increase the APC to 8, and it goes up to 16 actually. Look at the amount of detail in the galaxy we have now. Wow. That's something else. Okay, we got a little, those lines that you see, they're on a 45-degree angle. Those lines are caused by a bad cable that I have. It's all rusted out. And you see them on occasion here, on and off. Now, our stars kind of look funny. Now, did you see that? The image moved a little bit. The stars went up. And because of that, between the odd frame and even frame, so what's going to happen is the stars won't land at the same place. However, if you have a scope that doesn't magnify as much as this one here, and if you have a scope that's been guided, it's going to be a non-issue. This is the reason the stars look the way they are. They are being flickered between odd frame and even frame. Odd lines and even lines, and this is how interlace sensor works. Well, look at the amount of noise. There's none, except for those lines, which is a bad cable that I have. If I didn't have this bad cable, the background would be smooth, smooth, smooth. This is Peltier cool. CCD sensors can be Peltier cooled. Anybody that buys a CMOS type camera and it's Peltier cool, they're going to be in for problems soon. I'm gonna go back to what I explained yesterday about it. A CCD sensor has nothing in it other than the detector and the basic preamplification on the same wafer that the pixels are made. Okay. From that point, the signal comes out of it, and you need an AD converter that is analog to digital, because the CCD is analog. Same with the CMOS, it's analog. Now, once you've got the signal out, you've got the AD converter, you convert this to digital, and then you've got other circuitry that you need to go through to produce an image. However, a CMOS is completely different. You've got a bunch of circuitry on the same wafer as where the pixels are. Okay, hang on there. This thing's not going well. And the reason is this. You've got the AD converter built on the same sensor board, on the same wafer where the sensor is. Okay? Now at that point you've got also preamps, you've got all kinds of electronics that's on the same board. If you Peltier cool a CMOS sensor, not only is it going to delaminate with time, you're going to reduce how long it's going to last. It may be just a few years, it may be 4, 5 years, who knows, maybe 2 years, who knows. Simply because what's happening, you're cooling down the other circuitry that's not supposed to be cooled. If you cool down the circuitry for AD conversion, you're going to change the value. if you cool down the preamps that they're using in there and other electronics, you're going to change the value. Therefore, the CMOS sensor will not perform the way it's supposed to be. So a CMOS sensor is supposed to be ambient cooled. That's why we don't use Peltier coolers in our CMOS cameras. And most of them are made of plastic casings, so you don't want to do that. Ours use strictly ceramic. That's another story we're going to cover for another time. But a CCD sensor, on the other hand, can be cooled, no problem. They're made out of ceramic, most of them, and including the 828 and the 829, which we're using here tonight, the i6 828. And you can cool that down quite a lot. They're made to be cooled because there's no other associated electronics built on the same wafer. They're on the outboard, a circuit board. That means they're outside. You've got a wire strip that goes through with 18 contacts and goes to a secondary board, which is not affected by the cooler. So you're not going to affect any of the original values of the circuitry. You're only going to cool down the pixels and the wafer board where the pixels are mounted on, they're made on. So that's the difference. So any CMOS camera that has a Peltier cooler, you're in for trouble. You're cutting down the lifespan of that thing. First of all, CMOS do last a lot less longer. And now if you threw a Peltier cooler on it, you're going to have issues later. I guarantee it. That's why our CMOS cameras don't use any Peltier cool. CCD sensor, yes, you could cool them and quite a lot. That's the difference. If you notice the background noise, other than those 45-degree angle noise, that's caused from the cable that's been stuck in the ice all winter long, and it's all rusted. I didn't bother changing it because I didn't know what happened. But you could see it disappears at time. I could actually freeze the image here. Hang on. You're going to see how clean that is. There's no stacking here. There's no binning or anything like that. We're using the zoom, obviously, of the camera. Hang on a sec. We're going to freeze frame. You can do that with a video. Real video cameras has more features than any other cameras on the market, including imagers. Real video cameras have a lot more different features and adjustment that are related directly to video and how the CCD responds to the image that you're going to be getting. This is live. We could go a little bit more exposure if we want. All right, just a sec. Bear with me for a minute. I'm just waiting for a moment for the a cooler here to. There you go. All right. Now we've got the image frozen right now. So what we could do is just grab an image, snap of that, and transfer it to wherever you want. Doesn't matter really. And this is pretty well how it works. This is 8-second exposure. We're going to pump that up to 10 seconds. We're back down to 2 seconds here. And let's change the gamma a little bit. Okay, here goes 10 seconds. Let's change the gamma. Now we could increase the APC some more, so we're going to pump that up to 13. There you go. Look at the amount of detail we're now separating in the galaxy itself. Look at all the clumps in there. We can only achieve that with special filters normally in hours and hours. 5, 8, and 10 hours of exposure. You get the same amount of detail here live in 10 seconds. And that's live. If my conditions would be better here, because I can't see stars with a naked eye, we nearly have a full moon on our hands, you would see that a lot better. All right, we could increase the APC. I'm going to push my luck and go a little bit higher. Stars are going to look funny. That's okay. The reason is what I explained earlier. Why? It's because of the interlace, and I'm not guiding. If I'd be guiding, the stars would be round. There's no question about it. Wow, look at the amount of detail. I got the APC set nearly at maximum. Fainter stars don't have the issues, it's only the brighter ones, because they're covering a larger amount of pixels. And pixels are 8.4 by 9.8, 9.6 micron. That's 3 times the size of most 16 megapixel camera. Of course the star is going to be bigger, but I'm also using the zoom. Now watch this, we're going to stop this, we're going to take the zoom out, and let's start the active capture for 10 seconds. Watch this. Watch what's going to happen. Wow, look at that. Now we see a lot of difference. That's incredible to see the amount of detail we've got in it. It's stuff we've never seen before. Even in long exposures, you're still going to have that smoothness that covers where those rich amount of details are shown. That's the difference between a real video camera, folks, and a USB type camera. There is no way in hell a USB camera will equal the power of a real video camera. End of story. And that explains why the Exterminator costs what it costs. You're having result live. This is an Altaz, by the way. I'm not guiding and I'm not in EQ mode whatsoever. Can we change the colors? Of course we can. We're going to play with that. How's that? Okay, this is infrared. Infrared is cool. I kind of like using infrared. You got different type of features coming out, and somebody wants to play with that. It's a lot of fun. Okay, this is manual, so we can add a little bit more red. We can remove red. Green is always fixed, so you got to work against that. You can add a little bit of blue. So you've got adjustments for that that you could take, or you could go ATW, which means auto trace white. It's basically going to take the image and balance the white automatically based on your sky conditions. Sky condition plays a big role here as well. It certainly is, because here's the reason why. The ICX 428 and the ICX 828 share very, very common specification. The 428 has 1600 millivolt output. This guy's got double, 3200 millivolt output. One of the most powerful sensors on the market. It does not use RGB, it uses CMYG. Therefore, you've got 2/3 more sensitivity compared to a RGB, thus giving you more range in the infrared. Being an X-view head sensor, X-view means extended view in the infrared. You're going to go up to 900 range, if you wish, in the infrared. Anywhere from 800 to 900 easily, providing your scope's going to give it. And infrared's a good thing for galaxies. As you can see, we get to see details we've never seen before. With an RGB sensor, you would not get that detail because the RGB blocks it. The red is set at one specific area where it doesn't go over 700 nanometers. With a CMYG sensor, you could go up to 900 nanometers. You could go way up in the infrared, allowing you to have more information, more light's being collected. You're going to see different detail in there. That's the difference between a real video camera and a USB camera. And this is all built into the camera. If you have an extreme at the moment, you've got the same features basically. However, with the 828 sensor, you're going to have a whole different ballgame here because those features are further enhanced even more. Now, here's something that we could do. I don't know if the moon's high up. Let me see. I don't know if the moon's too high because my mount, the camera's going to hit my mount. What I wanted to do, I'd like to go on the moon, so I could show you folks how the camera performs on the moon. And you're going to be able to see the advantages of the APC so much better than what the Galaxy shows. Okay, we're gonna go to the moon. Hang on a sec. I gotta stop the exposure. I have to change a lot of stuff here too. I was on the moon in the daytime earlier. I like the moon. And you want to know why I like the moon? When you get to see it the way we're going to see it, you won't believe it. By the way, this is 2-second exposure. And can you get better than that? Normally we would, if the conditions would be better at my place. Okay. Yes, it was, Connie. You're absolutely right. I was on at 5 o'clock here today, 5:30. And I had the moon on there on NSNLive.com here. Okay, let me go swing the dome. Let me go see if the moon's not too high. And we're going to swing it on the moon. I'll be back. Ah, the moon. Can never get enough of that. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We need to focus because the scope is pointing up. Oh, it's not nice yet. Hang on a sec. Here, we use the zoom, the electronic zoom built in the camera to magnify. So we want a really ugly picture here. That's what we're looking for. Why? Use the focus. Here. We are going to focus live. Obviously, my internet connection's not good here because you guys are getting a frame every 6 seconds, and here it's live. I see everything move perfectly here. Okay, hang on. Let me try to get the best focus you can with the zoom. You don't want to use the zoom unless if condition supports it. But once you've got that zoom, it's and the focus adjusted in the zoom, the difference is like night and day. Okay, am I still broadcasting here? Yep. Okay. Now, what are we going to do next? All right, let's go for a walkabout, and I'm going to show you after. Let's slow down the speed of the... Wow, that's bright. Okay. I'm currently using the ELC. There's no way that you could use any other form of for the camera. You cannot lower the speed low enough to give us a nice image. Okay, watch this now. Watch what's going to happen here. All right, the beauty of this is, just a moment. Let's go around and look. We got some heat coming out of my warm room here, escaping on the other side. So you're going to see a little bit of all right. Here's the yeah, lower right. You could see a little bit of I forgot the name of that crater's been so long that I haven't done more. But anyways, those who knows the moon will recognize themselves here. Beautiful. Okay, now let's get serious here. Now, do you remember what I was telling you about the APC? You probably saw me go at the camera, and the camera has a built-in menu because everything is in the camera. It's not software related at all. And what we're going to do is go back to that crater that we had here. I kind of like that. This is pretty cool. Let's drive like we're driving on a highway here. The moon is filled with features. I mean, you could observe the moon for years on end, and there's going to be some of the nights that you observing that you're going to discover something new, and that's what I like about it. Uh-oh, that's clouds, guys, or something. Yeah. Oh, that sucks. Oh, come on, don't do this to me. Not tonight. Let me change exposure a little bit. Okay. Are you ready for some APC? Watch that crater, folks. Watch this thing come to life. Wow. A little bit higher. Here's your APC. Look how much clearer and sharper everything is. And if you want, you got a separate sharpness. That's exactly what APC does. It does vertical pixel and horizontal shape pixel. And it's an enhancer. Just the same way as it did earlier on with M82. It does the same thing on the moon. Hang on. There. Trying to fine-tune this guy here a little bit better. Hey, Doug, how are you? Nice to see you. Okay, this is gamma 045 and this is gamma 1. Yes, indeed it is. I don't know. Is there people here? Oh, 28 of us. Okay, sounds good. I kind of give up on the focal reducer test. The MFR52 on the Exterminator is it. I mean, I all too many names. So this is the type of image that you could get live. This is live. video the way it should be. Unfortunately, my darn internet does not upload fast enough for you guys to have a quick response, a quicker refresh for you guys. God, I hate this. I wish Bell Canada would smarten up and give us some good, decent internet. There we go. This is pretty bright, so we get to change the exposure a little bit. There you go. Hey, hang on. We're going to go down. Here's an area that I like. Whoop. I'm driving the wrong way here. Sorry, folks. Copernicus is nice. That's a nice. There's Plato. I forgot this crater with all the bunch of other craters in it. For Pete's sake, I've been imaging this forever. The brain's on here tonight. It's too cold outside. This is nice. And then we could fine-tune the image of the frame grabber, which includes the brightness, contrast, hue, saturation, sharpness. Oh. Talking about contrast, this is nice. Or we could make it smoother. Here, we're going to make this a little smoother, like photographic type of thing. Some people like it like this. It's all up to you on how you like it and how to adjust it. Just got to play with it. Looks okay. My preference is this: high contrast, high resolution as I call it, high resolving power. Okay, never mind the noise at the bottom, people. It's because of my bad cable. My fault. It's spent the whole winter stuck in the ice. It's rusted. And I'm still using it anyway, so and it's producing noise right now. This is not bad at all. I'm going to skip over again. Whoop, get away. You could actually see the mountains on the edge of the moon. The shape. This is how sharp it is. And resolving power of this is just incredible. The dynamic range allows us to do that. We can only get this with a high performance CCD. ICX 828 is the one, the ICX 428 is one. They're both very similar. They're smaller type of sensor, but what happened is you need a focal reducer on large scope. If you're going to use this on a smaller scope, you still need a focal reducer to make things wider. What's that large crater with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 craters in it? I forgot it. It just doesn't pop in my head right now. And we see some minor craterlets as well. No, not Plato. The other one below that. No, at the bottom left, 5 o'clock or so. Oh, for Pete's sake, the name doesn't come to me right now. It's one of those blonde moments, I guess. What am I talking about? I don't have blonde hair. Clavius, thank you. Yes. Yes. Clavius. You could see all of the craters in there. That's pretty cool. That's great. So from deep sky down to lunar, you can do it. And solar's the same thing. Circular arc of craters. Absolutely, Jack. You've got it. That's the difference between a real video camera and a USB type camera. You cannot compare both of them. Not the same thing at all, not the same technology, it's not the same guts, it's not the same inside, it's not the same circuitry whatsoever. This is not a USB camera, this is a camera that operates on its own. And if you want to adapt it to a computer, all you need is a frame grabber, and if you want to run the adjustment of the camera, then you're going to need an RS-232 cable, which you could run easily up to 300 feet with no issues at all. Yes, FICO. I could see actually the image move a little bit here. So the conditions are not all that good. But we're seeing a lot of interesting. Oh no, I'm not. This is zoomed out completely. Yeah, this is zoomed out. Here, this is zoomed in. And this is not a zoom from a software. Yes, David, you can get some pretty good images with an SDI. But then again, this is a CCD, and the electronics are not the same. Not close, not even close. Here, this is zoom, and this is unzoomed. Not the same technology, not even close. Two different things. Hey, there's a lot of stuff in this camera. You've got aerogel in there, argon gas, cold fingers, high performance, belted cooler, and so much more. That's the reason it costs what it costs. And this is handcrafted in Ottawa in our shop, one at a time. Okay, and we're going to move a little bit further away here. Like this. I like this guy here. This is cool. And of course we could zoom that in a little bit more. Could make the image slightly brighter. Oh, it is, David. Yes, it's a whole different ball game. It's not even the same class, not even the same thing. This is high performance. Yes, indeed, Connie. Same thing. Same here. I really like this crater, though. The amount of details you can see. Okay, hang on. We can go a little bit more sharpness, but I don't want to go too noisy. Very distinct. Yes, indeed they are. And that's the high dynamic range of the camera. This is so interesting to observe. Let me see if we could, I've got the APC set up pretty high here, folks. Here, the APC's turned all the way up now. But I don't think so it's going to give us any more because of conditions. And you can see the condition changing. All right, let me see what else we can do here. Okay, this is too much. Let's back down the sharpness a little bit. And we're going to back down the APC as well. There you go. The APC is turned down, and I think it's a good match, just the way it is. Now, Jack, can you tell me again, please, the what's that? The Eskimo. NGC 23. I can't remember a thing here. 2392. Hi, Dave from Maine in 97. It's not high enough for me, but I'm going to try 2392. We went through MAD2 earlier. Hi, Dave Emery from Maine. It's nice to see you on. 2392. Okay, let's go to 2392. Let me go on the other side, folks, swing the scope and swing the dome by hand, and I'll be right back.
I know you're fruited out. You are all fruited out. Although you still have some. Okay. Yeah, man.
I can find it. It's right next to the moon. It's about like 3 degrees off to the moon. Hang on a sec, folks. Let me see if I can find this. We're going to need to shut off the exposure here and change the gamma. You'll be able to see this. Okay, looks like my go-to crapped out. You'll have to excuse all those lines in there. This is due to a bad cable that I've got that spent the entire winter in solid ice and it's all rusted. Okay, we're going to fix that next time that we're going to broadcast. Hang on a sec. Okay, where is... Okay. This is like 2 seconds, not even 2 seconds. 1/10 of a second. We won't be able to go into deep sky mode, and I'll tell you why. The moon is so close to it, like 3 or 5 degrees or some stupid thing like this, and the light entering in the telescope triggers the safety mode for the camera. So that sucks. Nope, she won't go. No, she will not go. All right. Yes, shoot. I was thinking something else, but shoot will do. Still pretty cool, yes. I really wish you would have seen this, David. You would have, if you think MAD2 was nice, oh boy, you really have to see this one. See, the camera goes in safety mode if too much light enters. It's too bright. And we cannot increase that right now, so we do detect a little bit of color, but she won't go any more than that. For once, I can actually curse at the moon, but I won't because the moon's it's a good thing. and links. H3. Hang on. I hope my house and the trees are not in the way. That would be south, isn't it? That means I'll be right in Ogdensburg light pollution. I won't see anything. Let's try it out. 2683, all right, 2683. Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta go move the scope and move the dome, especially, because it's a manual dome. I'll be right back. The camera. Gonna be a little bit harder to get, folks, simply because I know why. I've got the gain on. We gotta turn the gain off. Okay, bear with me, folks. Just wait a moment. We'll try to get a moon shot of the galaxy. I was starting to see the middle of it. We're going to wait about 2 minutes or so. Safety kicks in. So every time that we turn the AGC adjustments on or off, the camera reverts back to saved electronics so they don't overload. That's how sensitive this camera is. If you overload the electronics, you can desensitize it. And you don't want to do that. Bias changes on the sensor, and if too bright of a light enters, you got too much voltage going on the sensor as far as bias is concerned. So that's the reason that we need to have a safety system in the camera. I just wish those lines weren't there. I did not notice it until later that the cable was bad, but that's okay for now. I mean, we are detecting colors in there. Hey, hang on a sec, folks. All right, hang on, bear with me for a sec. And we're gonna go maybe 8 seconds or so. Okay, we're gonna turn off the APC, something we don't need. Oh boy, you gotta like this, huh? Okay, this is a 32-inch curved monitor. The real estate on there is so cool that you hit mouse here and there, you click here and there, and then you click stop. Oh boy, oh boy. My mistake. Okay, this is, let me see now, we've got 8-second exposure only, so that's not too bad. I'm not guiding or anything, so I'm going to pump that up to 12 seconds and see what kind of, so I've got a little bit of vignetting at the bottom. That means like a camera sag. I need to have a stabilizer to hold the camera up a little bit. Mind you, there's only one screw holding the camera in place. So there you go. Okay, my tracking's not good. You can see the stars being vertical. The declination is not tracking well right now. I did not align the scope since last fall. I simply just told it to go to sleep, and that's what I did. And Here, let me see if we're still broadcasting. Yep. In here, make sure. All right, here we go. That's a nice galaxy, actually. There's details in there. It could be a fader one on the right, 5 o'clock. Now, the moonlight is really, really interfering, as you could tell. We're picking up colors in there. And get some adjustment going. Yeah, it's not bad at all. NGC 2683, so if we go here, with this camera, what you could do is you could write stuff. There you go. Here. The camera has a built-in generator. Oh, typo. There you go. And you can change that anywhere you want. There, here. I'll put it where the vignetting is. And my tracking is not good, as you can tell. Here, I just pressed the declination here a little bit, trying to recenter it. My tracking's not good, so I'm going to need to realign the scope on my next broadcast. That's what we're going to have to do. I'm very tempted to bring out the black and white version, and we're really going to knock our socks off with that one, but not bad. This is 12-second exposure. The objects are well centered, I find. The combination of the MFR5 and the Exterminator is really, really good. Simply because most objects,
operation completed,
other than white gaseous things in our local galaxies, of course, you need wide field of view and smaller scope. But being a 16-inch with a focal length of 4064 f10, the reducer does a good job in that specific camera here. Now, this is cool. The next time I'm going to install the software for a sky map, and we're going to galaxy hop, because galaxies are my favorite. Absolutely my favorite. And that'll give me a chance to change that nasty cable that's giving us noise. Happens. Even I has failures. It's the way it goes. What time do we got here? 8:15 for me. I gotta get up at 3 o'clock, folks. I think I'm gonna stop right now because the tracking is not dead on, and I should have aligned that properly. And I'm gonna keep for another night, other tests. And maybe one night we're going to use it for observing only. So I wish everyone a good night. Thank you very much for coming over. Now you know the difference between a real video camera and a USB type camera. Thank you, Ken, David, Jack, of course, and Connie, Larry, Nevada, and I'm forgetting a lot of people here. Bill in North Carolina. Tom in Austin, okay. Ski, Will, Larry, Woody's on there too. Good stuff. Woody, I'm using the Exterminator tonight, and I'm having fun more than ever. Graham, Doug in Virginia, Dave Emery, Timon, of course, and David, Connie, covering these guys up. You have a good night. We're going to be pulling the plug, and we've got a nasty moon glow, and my tracking is not good. So we're going to keep that for another night, and maybe next time I'm going to pull out your universe. But folks, I tell you, you could have a big chip, you could have nice wide field of view. I always find the ultimate observing pleasure with the Exterminator. Every time I pull it out and put it in there, it's it. it does what it's intended to do. Okay, folks, again, have a good night. Thank you again.